then it's like I detox. And then I come back and I ease back into the year. I don't come back into the year hard. So, for those individuals who haven't worked out for like 6 months and then all of a sudden you want to hit the gym real hard, right? Okay, yeah, that sounds great. And I'm not saying you shouldn't hit the gym, but it's also some of those same people by the end of February, you don't see them anymore, right? So sometimes it's good to ease into stuff. Like I haven't lifted weights in a while. I was healing up for some injuries and stuff. So I went back to ground zero when I started lifting weights today. I did not lift my heaviest weight. I was lifting 5, 8s, and 10s because I don't want to re-injure myself. I'm going to build myself back up, and it's my race, my pace. And I look at that in everything I do. It is my race, my pace, and I'm just going to take my time and do what I need to do. I think for those who are on social media is a blessing and a curse. I think sometimes people do too much comparisons of themselves to what they see, and you're only seeing the good side. You're not seeing necessarily always the journey and everything it took to get there. And just your only competition is you.
Yeah.
And just really think about that and not try, and you see somebody benching 350 pounds, you try and bench 350 pounds, you probably going to be in the ER because the doggone dumbbell, the whole dumbbell done fell on your neck and everything, and you fell off the bench and it's just not worth hurting yourself over. So that's how I reset. I really go back to defining me and making sure I'm staying true to me.
That's so good. You put 350 pounds on a bench press on me, Paula. I'm not gonna make it. I won't make the next podcast. I ain't gonna be in the ER. I might be dead. That said, I love how you ease into it. I remember back in the day when I was young, I was a personal trainer, and we worked at a company at the time. I won't name the company so they don't try to come after me, but we worked at a company where we actually sold memberships, and at the same time, you got free personal training. So I was a personal trainer and one of the sales membership guys. So I used to give tours, sell you up on sell you a gym membership, and then set up a personal training session to try and see if you need personal training. Everyone gets 2 free sessions. You'd set it up. We'd be good to go. And it was a really attractive offer because, training is expensive. You're a personal trainer, Paula. I don't even want to know your prices. That said,
okay, so hold on. Let me back that up. I am not a personal trainer.
Well, you could be.
I'm a group fitness trainer.
I'm just saying.
I don't want to be a personal trainer. Woo!
Hey, group fitness trainer is personally training a group of people. Okay. With that said, I had this guy come in, and this guy was 350 pounds. He was a big dude, and he wasn't jacked. He was a big dude because of his dietary, lifestyle. That said, he came in. I was like, oh, okay, sign in here. We got to do the tour. We got to do measurements, body fat. He's like, I don't want to do all that. Here's my card. I want you to charge me for a year up front. Just run it. And me being the young sales guy based off commission, I was like, say less, bro. I went up, paid in full. We used to call it a PIF. It was one of those things where we got a high five from the sales manager for getting a PIF. This guy walks in and says that. I'm like, God, you're good. You're so good, And then I go and give this guy his membership card. I give him everything. And I'm like, okay, well, your free personal training sessions, we could do Wednesday, Thursday. He's like, I'm not interested. And he just walks out. I'm like, this dude's a real you-know-what, right? This guy comes in the next day, exact same time. Walks over to the leg extension machine, sits down, sits there for 10 minutes, does 5 leg extensions, walks out. And I'm like, what was that? Same day, the next day. Walks in, machine right next to it, leg curl, 10 minutes, walks out. I'm like, this dude is never going to lose it. I'm a personal trainer, NASM certified, ACE certified, all this other stuff, right? I'm doing bells and whistles. You're grabbing bands, and you have a goat in this hand, you have another lion that you have on this, and you're doing all kinds of stuff. I'm having people do crazy things, right? This guy's doing 10 minutes of extensions and curls. It's never going to work. So the guy comes in the third day, and I approach him and say, hey, can I give you some tips? He's like, I'm not interested. If I have to tell you again, I'm going to talk to your manager. And just walks by me, and I'm like, this mother... I was heated, right? Screw this guy, This bum ain't gonna lose no weight. Do your thing. 2 years later, I worked at that gym for 3 years. 2 years later, this guy, staple in our gym. Guess what day he showed up? Same day. Guess what time? Same time. And every day, he did 10 minutes this day, 11 minutes that day. 2 years later, this guy's working out 2 hours and has lost 200 pounds. Shredded, jacked. And he told me, he's like, I wasn't trying to be a jerk. I just needed you to understand that it was slow and steady for me. It was about consistency, not intensity. It was about I needed to get consistent before I got in there, not intense, so I burnt myself out. You didn't see that it took me 30 minutes to look at my fat self in the mirror and put on this shirt because I felt terrible about myself. You didn't see that I had to sit in my car for 30 minutes crying, looking at myself saying, go in there, they're not looking at you. You didn't see that. But I had to go through that. So I had to start small and I had to build. And I said, you know what? That's the best advice that I've ever given or I've ever gotten. Thank you. So I think that you're really onto something because I've seen it work in real life. And I feel, kind of the same way. I'll also say, I love that you introduced me to the whole shutdown for the last 2 weeks, because when you say, oh, that first day after work, I just do whatever I want to do. That whole 2-week time, I'm doing whatever I want to do. I'm getting fat. I'm watching movies. I'm at the point where like a week and a half in, I'm spending more time trying to find the movie than I'm watching it because I've already seen everything at that point. I call it my icing/degenerate time, where I truly just shut down, rest, and recover. So